on. Okay, it will help if I turn the mute button off. Welcome to the live Prime Time Squad. What's going on tonight? Please come on in and make sure you hit that like button for me, please, and thank you. Make sure you share the live out, and also make sure you like. And if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the subscription button, hit that little bell so that you can receive notifications every time I go live or when I upload. And I'm up here trying to put the link out. Hold on. I'm getting the link together because I want to do a panel tonight, like I told you guys this morning, to discuss the Amber Guyger trial and sentence. If most of y'all have been following along with the trial, you do know that this morning, yesterday morning, Amber Guyger was found guilty by the decision of a jury. And then they had the sentencing phase, and that proceeded right after she was found guilty yesterday. So the sentencing phase day 1 was yesterday, and sentencing phase day 2 was today. And right after they finished up, they wrapped up, with the final testimonies and character witnesses, and whatever documentation that they wanted to give the judge. Mainly that stack of 324 papers that, some things in there had to do with her character, some like her social media that people were scrutinizing, some very some bad things, that would put a bad taste in somebody's mouth that she had put like on her social media, regarding to other ethnicities. There was a text message thread that they were combing through and, found some vulgar, disrespectful things that was said in there regarding different ethnicities, including supervisors on her own job. So, there was a lot of, information over the last, few weeks and everything. And these last 2 days, they were just basically wrapping it up before the jury had the chance to decide. Basically, they found her guilty, but then they wanted to decide how much time they were going to give Amber. And as you may know, and we spoke about it yesterday and this morning, she was facing 5 to 99 years. So she could get basically 5 to life. Of course, the family and friends of his were seeking something that would satisfy them. Like nothing would truly 100% satisfy you as far as a sentence for somebody who killed your loved one, especially when it didn't have to happen, and especially if it comes from somebody who is their main commitment is to protect and serve. So of course they wanted, they didn't want, nowhere near the 5 year, nowhere near the minimum amount of judgment. They were seeking more than that. Amber, of course, her and her family were hoping for a very minimal amount of time. So basically that's what we're going to discuss tonight, how they came to that decision, things that we thought both sides could have possibly done differently to make a different outcome. And then we're also going to discuss his mother, things that were done during the trial. when they were wrapping it up today, like his brother, Amber's mother, and Botham's mother and his father. So we're going to discuss things like that today. And things that we thought. Oh, oops, sorry. Had my other speaker playing in the background. But, we're going to discuss that. And I want your feedback. I want you to let me know what you think about, this trial and the outcome, the sentence, all that. So I'm going to put the link in Actually, I sent the link out already to a few people. So I'm waiting to see if they'll respond. Anybody else, if you want to join the panel, we can have up to 6 people on the panel. And all I have to do is send you the link, like to your DMs. And you just click on the link. And then you just pop up on the screen in the live. So 1 second. Let me just check with somebody right now. One second. I'm going to put you on mute for a second. I'm going to put you on mute for 1 second so I can reach out to somebody. Okay. All right. I done left the links to people that I think might be available to join on the live tonight. Anybody else, feel free to let me know in the chat if you want to join the live tonight. Join the stream tonight for the panel. Again, we can have up to 6 people on there. Me plus 5. Me plus 5. So just let me know in the link if you want to, or if you want to call in. I can also open the phone lines. I can drop the phone number down there if you want in the chat, and you can call in and voice your opinion as well. So either or. Some people don't want to be on the screen, and I understand that. Some people are shy, don't want to be on the screen. Some people would prefer to call in. So just let me know. But anyway, one thing that I wanted to talk about as far as the Amber Guyger case. I'm sorry, somebody's inboxing me right now on Facebook. Okay, I am live. One thing that they were discussing earlier that was really weird to me as well. I want to know your feedback on this, but some people might not have noticed. But when they were discussing, like when they were having discussions with Amber's family, her friends, her aunt, her co-workers, the lady who trained her, when they were having listen to their testimonies, using them as character witnesses, one thing that was like just didn't seem right, and probably was expected by the jury and the judge and the family of Botham, was, why do you think none of her family members, friends, co-workers, her best friend, the black lady, well, I actually don't think she was the best friend, but she was like a very close friend of hers. From the way she explained their relationship, they had a really, really close relationship, even outside of work, before they got into the academy, before they got their badges and they were pretty good friends and still was pretty good friends. None of them apologized to the family. Didn't y'all think that was kind of odd? Like, they had mentioned how normally in cases like these, in cases where somebody was killed, whether it was accident, whether it was purposely, whether it was callously, somebody would normally apologize. I done seen that happen many, many times. Somebody sitting on the stand, whether it's the mother, the father, the sister, the brother, somebody would say, "My sincere apologies to you and your family and your loved ones for the loss of your loved one, whoever that may be." So did y'all think that was kind of weird? I thought that was kind of odd. They were up there, some of them, basically making her seem like she's a saint. Like she's actually a saint. Like she could do no wrong. Like she's the sweetest person in the whole wide world that you could ever meet. And nobody on her behalf apologize. Or I mean, that's just something, that's just common courtesy, something that you would do. You know what I mean? Like I know personally me for sure, if something like that happened and my son, or God forbid, whether they wrecked a car and somebody got seriously injured or killed, and my son had to stand on trial, I had to test, that would be one of the first things I would say. I am truly, 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 truly sorry for the loss of your loved one. I would show compassion because, that's just being a human. That's just being showing humanity. You know what I mean? Common courtesy, compassion, sympathy. Maybe not empathy, but sympathy at least. And none of them did any of that. So that was one of the things that some of the reporters and I also heard other people talking about today, was that point right there. I wonder if they would have done that. And other things, as far as we know that Amber, they didn't want to put her on the stand because they felt like the state, the prosecutors would rip her to pieces. They would shred her to pieces and throw her away in the trash. They didn't feel compelled to put her on the stand because of the fact that they had so-called allegations of her being maybe racist, showing an indifference to people of other ethnicities. When they start talking about the text messages, when they start talking about her Pinterest account, and I can't remember the other account they had mentioned yesterday. It wasn't Facebook or anything like that, but it was a different type of account. And when they were mentioning those things, and trying to bring that into evidence, they were trying to determine like her character and her friends. It wasn't adding up. It wasn't adding up. Like, how is this person the most respectful, the most kindest, treat everybody like she wants to be treated, do anything for you? I'm sure she was probably that way, with her family and whatnot, and maybe her closest friends. But I mean, come on, they made her seem too much like a saint. And then to hear like the things that was said on text messages and about her supervisors and about different ethnicities, mainly Black people, people of color, and how she would oftentimes lead off sentences saying, "I'm not racist, but I'm not racist, but," like, if you gotta lead off, if anytime you're talking about a different race or Black people negatively, and you always have to lead off is, "I'm not racist, but," and then the derogatory comments that they were saying that she said about her supervisor, about the color, people of color, on the police force. And, when they were talking about that MLK parade and, going down to assist the people in the community, and how they were not willing to do that. They was like, "Oh, just pepper spray them, just, do stuff like this." They were trying to show the blemishes of her character. That's what they were trying to do these past few days. I don't know if they, like, when the judge told the jurors sometimes, and it was absolutely their choice. It was absolutely their choice, their decision, if they wanted to speak to the prosecutor, if they wanted to speak to the state, the prosecutor, the state, the prosecuting team, or if they want to speak to the defense team, if they want to answer any questions or ask them questions or anything like that. Totally their choice. But she gave them the option. She was like, sometimes the prosecutor team, the defense team, they might want to speak with you, the jury, to find out, like, what could we have done better or different to get a more better sentence in our favor, or the defense team might be like, what can we have done different or better or something to get a lesser sentence, or maybe a not guilty sentence. But the jury, I didn't see any of them, make a decision to speak to the prosecutor or the defense team. But they had a choice. They had a choice. And one thing that I would say, just me personally, I'm no criminal expert or anything. I always throw that out there. I'm not no law expert. I only took intro to law, and I took business law in college just for a business degree. So I ain't no expert or anything. And I'm telling you, them big old business books in college, I couldn't quote you anything out of there, just like I can't quote any French that I took in high school, and I took 3 years of French. I can quote you like the the numbers like un, deux, trois, trois, something like that. But you know what I'm getting at. I'm no expert, but what I would say, if I had the opportunity to be in a jury, and if I had the opportunity to speak with like the defense team, the first thing off top, I would be like, why does she look like a bump on the log the whole trial? Why does she look like, I don't know. It looked like there was like no expression. It was like maybe unfazed. It wasn't even like a sad expression. Of course, she didn't look happy or nothing like that, but it was kind of like a nonchalant. I don't know if they told her to act like that. I have never seen nobody look like that during a trial. I mean, she just looked like, and when she talked, like, no, I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question? I mean, I don't know if that was like a strategy from the defense team, or is that just her natural behavior? I don't get it. I'm just like, the way they was talking about this lady, like her friend, the black lady, when she was telling her how, she's so kind and she was so sweet, she do all this for you, and she ran out into the middle of the interstate and she grabbed my changing table when it fell out the back of the truck, and she drove 1,000 miles here to get my bed, and she drove 1,000 miles here to drop it off. And I mean, everybody has something really, really good to say about her. I didn't see no compassion. I didn't see no sensitivity. I didn't see no remorse. I didn't see no guilt. I didn't see no empathy, no sympathy. I didn't see nothing out of her. Nothing. So that's one thing. If I had the opportunity to speak to the defense team, I'm like, she showed no emotion. Like the entire, I mean, some people, when they know that they're going up for a murder charge or even something lighter, they'll be up there emotional, even if they faking it, just breaking down and all kind of stuff. She was just, I don't know. I don't even know what word to describe her demeanor. I really don't know. But if I was the jury and I had the opportunity to speak to the defense team, I would say what she did not help at all with her being found guilty. Now, as far as the sentence goes, why do y'all think that the jury only gave 10 years? 10 years. Out of 5 to 99 that they had the option of in Texas, 5 to 99 years they could have gave her. Heck, they could have gave her 20, where she had to serve at least half in order to, hopefully in her favor, be paroled. Depending on, how well she did in jail, her behavior in jail. When you come up for parole, you got to try to prove to them without a shadow of a doubt that you're changed, that you're remorseful, that you're sorry for what you've done, that you change your life, stuff like that. 5 to 99 years. And she only got 10. I just That does you man, you could have knocked me over with a feather with that. It was like we went to so ecstatic about her being found guilty, and the family was so happy she was found guilty, and then to just give her a slap on the wrist like that, 10 years? That's nothing. That's nothing. 10 years. Okay, so with time served, at least half of her time served, because no matter what she was getting sentenced by Texas law for these type of charges in this type of case, she would have to do at least half before she can be eligible to, apply for a role and apply for parole. So 5 years, she can be out in 5 years, give or take. Give or take. That's not enough time. That's that is not enough time. Wow. Wow. I'm telling you, I was expecting at least 25, 30, at least 25 or 30. And I mean, I don't know. I've never been on a jury before. I know that is a hard thing that they have to do. I know it is. Like the judge at the end, she was saying, after she told him that they can or cannot, they don't have to, speak to the prosecuting team or the defense team. They don't have to. They can leave, and the judge can make sure they are taken to their vehicles or wherever it is, safe and sound. Because jurors, the thing that we don't think about when it comes to jurors is that sometimes they are risking their lives by being a juror. You know how many times people on a jury get offered money or get threats or people try to sway them, to go this way or give this guilty or not guilty, or so the judge was like that kind of just hit me in this situation, when the judge was like, we will make sure that you get to your destination safe and sound. I don't know if she meant like get to their vehicles or she meant like get to their home, but the way she was saying it just hit me like that's something we don't think about jurors, is their safety. We just don't think about it. We think about, well, what the heck are they thinking? Why they give them only this time? Or why they give them all that time? Or why they give them 100 years? Why they give them 2 years? That's something we just don't think about, is their safety and how their life continues after trials and cases like this. This can weigh down on a jury a lot because sometimes they go through emotions as well. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Is this person really guilty? Is this person really innocent? They go through all that, and the judge even offered them counseling. I've never saw that done before. I'm not saying it hasn't been done. I'm just saying I've never seen it done before, where the judge offered them counseling. I mean, it was so many things that I saw today that were so touching. This whole case is emotionally draining for everybody involved. Even this morning, when I tuned in this morning, when they first started this morning, the first thing I noticed, because I was working and watching, how I be, I be working, doing my little work, my little job. And then on the side, I'll have like my computer and my TV, and I'll be like listening, but watching, the side eye over there and, trying to work at the same time. And the first thing I noticed was the judge when she came in. She kept yawning. She kept yawning. Like this takes a toll on a lot of people. The judge have to, listen to everybody's side. She has to decide what to throw out, what to keep in, what to allow, what to not allow. Like when the defense was telling the judge that they object, because when the state was talking to her coworker about the text message thread, I mean, I didn't understand where they was going to. I understand at the beginning when they was talking about certain conversations in the thread, but then when the guy kept saying, and his attorney, the defense kept saying he's not part of that thread. He's not part of that thread. He's not part of that thread. Why do you keep bringing him up and asking him questions about this text message thread if he wasn't part of that thread? And that's finally what the judge too. She was like, okay. I'm giving you a little rope. I'm giving you a little rope because I'm trying to see where you're going with this. And then eventually the judge threw it out. She was like, no, that if he wasn't part of the thread, how you gonna ask him about? But I get where she was going. But as far as in court, it had to be thrown out. But what she was trying to say was, she's Amber so close to, her guy, her co-workers, that he should know something about how she feels about certain ethnicities. That's what she was trying to let the jury see. That's what they were really trying to let the jury see. And I think that's where they kind of failed, because they didn't present the right information for the jury in that department. So if I was the jury and I had the opportunity to speak with the state, with the prosecuting team, I would tell them as such. I'm like, Amber had all them character witnesses. And they basically was saying she was Jesus Christ herself. Sent from the morning star. I mean, she's Jesus Christ herself. They made her look like she was flawless. She does no wrong. She can walk on water. She can raise the dead. They made Amber, her family and friends, the material character witnesses, whatever, they made her seem like an angel. And then when the prosecutors had the last opportunity, these last few hours, these last few days, to present, something basically totally destroying what they're trying to say, or, conflicting what they're trying to say as far as her character, they didn't do a good job. They didn't. They did not do a good job at all. So to me, that is the reason why the jury only gave 10 years. They know that she committed a crime. They know she didn't have a reason to do it. But what the prosecutor failed to do, just my opinion, and I'm no expert. And again, you can put your opinions and comments in the chat. If you want to join the panel, you can come on live with me and join the panel, or you can call in and I can put the phone number down in the chat. But just my opinion, the jury was lenient on the sentencing because the prosecutors, they proved that she did not have no reason to kill this man. That's a given. That's a given. They proved that. He was in his own home. He was chilling. He was chillaxing, eating a bowl of ice cream in his own home, like his mother said, in his own home where he pays a lot of rent to live. He was in his own home, minding his own business, when his privacy was invaded. Not only was his privacy invaded, he was murdered, cold-blooded. And all the training that Amber had received on robbery situations was out the door. In that same situation, had it been a call for robbery, she was supposed to cover and call for backup. She had all opportunities before that door even opened. She didn't have a key to that door. That was his house, not her house. No excuse. So it was a given that they would find her guilty in this case. But as far as the sentencing go, the prosecutors did not do good enough. The state did not do good enough to provide enough evidence to get more time. Because with her character witnesses, making her look like, an angel, and then the other, the prosecuting attorney trying to make it seem like she's this mean, vulgar, disrespectful, racist. They didn't do a good job of showing that. They didn't. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Again, you guys can let me know your opinion on what you think about the sentence, or why she only got 10 when they could have given her anywhere from 5 to 99. And yes, I'm thankful, and I'm sure the family is thankful he didn't get 5. I mean, she didn't get 5, but they were not pleased. They were not happy at all. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play a little bit of what happened after the trial. So I'm not going to play the image. I just want you to hear the sound. I want you to hear, and I want you to picture, for those of y'all who did not see today, and for those of y'all who did see today, I still want you to picture what they're saying. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to play that for you. Let's see. 1 second. Whew, this is a lot. One moment. Okay, here we go. This is just the sounds after the judgment, after the verdict, after the sentence. I just want you to listen.
No justice, no peace. That's so wrong. His family, they don't live with his messed up. And y'all know it.
My mic's still on?
They don't live with his life. His
Are they seeing this?
never have to back. His family can go and visit her and see
Is it
her
on,
in
it's on the air, but is it on?
She'll be out there. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Okay.
They done had every evidence against her. And 10 years, 10 years
Let's
to
just
slap
let
in the fucking face. Just slap in the face. It's so disrespectful to the mama and the dad. They have him, and they should have seen him to have kids and get married right at all. But no, totally, because they got a badge on, they can get this. These fucking heavy me, him police officers, there's women in there crying behind the trauma that this police department has the police department around the country has done to our unfair. This is not a joke. This is our lives. We're talking about something that we have to worry about for the rest of our lives. That woman, this ain't the last time. It's going to last 10 years. It ain't the last time. It again. It ain't the last time. That's why I say that's the last time. We have to stand together and fight out 4 years on these people. Drugs and jail. Like getting 30, 40 years for drugs. People with their high and all these other criminals that's going on, they get high sentence for a person to kill an innocent man when it's on his house. Claiming that she was on the wrong floor in her apartment. Killed this innocent man while he was sitting on his couch. That shit getting 10 years? 10 years? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? It's not right. We need justice. It's not right. Not at all. We are all hurt behind this. We are all hurt.
And this is why for
This is
us,
really messed up.
this is a really an issue that has to change. We have to come together. We have to be able to create a voice. That there are systems that are set in place that allows it to be okay to kill a black man or a black child in their own home, walking down the street. You know, there are things that we need to do.
Yeah, and we will stand up.
That's right. The
Right
laws
up.
have got to change. We have got to put people in office who are going to speak for the people and not
That
against
police
the
department
people.
is crooked.
Not only that, people need to be, it comes to a point in time, they come for what they do. People have go for a drug deal and they get 99 years. This person would never be able to have kids, would never be able to have a wife,
unanimous verdict. So
wow, a lot of emotions there. A lot of emotions there. A lot of emotions there. And you can understand why. You can absolutely understand why there's a lot of emotions there. I don't a lot of the things that they were saying is true. A lot of the things that they are saying is true. It's like something has to be done. Something has to be done, and not like in just Texas. I mean, this stuff is nationwide. This stuff is nationwide, and it's not going to stop unless, we need powers that be. We need powers to be to take action. I don't know what it's going to take, for changes to come so that less people are murdered by police in cold blood. I mean, the reasons why a lot of the police officers give for why they shot somebody, and how a lot of these police departments, their co-workers are their family. Their co-workers are their family. We all know how it goes. When you a police officer, your comrades, they try to protect you. They try to make sure, they do everything possible so you are found innocent. Like they were talking about the crime scene being contaminated, how that things need to change, as far as that goes. If I don't know what it's going to take, y'all. I don't know what it's going to take, but it has to come to an end. All these senseless murders. It's one thing to be murdered out here, in the streets, but it's another thing to be murdered by a public servant, somebody whose job is to protect and serve. Is really sad. It's horrible. Hey, Sun Media, how you doing? How you doing? If you have any comments or any opinions about, the case, the trial, the sentence, the verdict, anything, let me know about that. And then, I think another thing that helped give a lighter sentence, again, I don't know how many of you guys sat and watched, and listened to the trial, like actually listened to everything that was going on. But when Amber's mother was called up, to the stand, I did not expect that she was going to go into how she was abused by her mother's boyfriend. It was, it don't matter who it is, it don't matter who it is. When something happens like that to you as a child, when your innocence is taken away by somebody that's supposed to care for you. I mean, yes, her mother did take action. Yes, her mother immediately called the authorities. And yes, he did serve time. And yes, to top it all, she made sure her daughter and herself, the mother and Amber and her mom, they all went to therapy for like 6 months. So her mother took the right steps. It wasn't swept under the rug. The authorities was called. He admitted his guilt. He served time. And the mother made sure her daughter had, therapy, which was, given by the, the state. So she did what she had to do, but things like that, like I said, the defense, they had more, they swayed the jury more than the prosecutors did in the end when it came to the actual sentence. It's like they did what they had to do in the judgment to get that guilty verdict, but then they fell short. And again, that's just my opinion on why she only got 10 years. I would like to talk a little bit about the brother, Botham's brother. you can tell just by listening to the character witnesses how they were describing him, his friends, his best friend, his mother, his sister, his father, um, his co-workers, everybody. This man was awesome. This man who did not have to die was awesome. A wonderful, wonderful person who could done many positive things, who and had already in his young life had already done many positive things for his family, for his community, for his friends, for his church, for his school. I mean, he did many positive things. And his brother at the end, I'm gonna read what he said, y'all, because this really touched me. Whew, this really touched me. So let me read what he said. Just for those, just for those of y'all who did not watch, this is what he said. First of all, he got on the stand and he was talking about his brother, and he started getting emotional, and he asked the judge to please let him talk to Amber. Well, actually, no, he asked the judge, can he please speak to Amber? Of course, Amber was sitting where she's supposed to by the defense team, and he was on the stand, Botham's brother. And after he said what he said, he asked to give Amber a hug. This is what he said before he asked the judge to give Amber a hug. He said he don't want to say twice or for the 100th time what or how much you've taken from us. I think you know that. But I just hope you go to God with all the guilt, all the bad things you have done in the past. If you truly are sorry, I can speak for myself that I forgive you, and I know that if you go to God and ask him, he will forgive you as well. And I don't think, and he said, I'm speaking from myself, that he said, I don't think, he said, I'm speaking for myself that I love you just like anyone else. So he said he loves her just like anyone else, regardless of what she did. He said, I'm not going to say that I hope you rot in jail or die like my brother did. I personally want the best for you, and I wasn't going to ever say this in front of my family or anyone. He said, I don't even want you to go to jail. He said, I want the best for you because I know that's exactly what his brother Botham, the one she killed, would want for her, the best for her. And he said his brother Botham would want her to give her life to Christ. He said, I'm not going to say anything else to you. I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that Botham would want you to do. Again, I love you as a person, and I don't wish anything bad on you. Then he started begging and pleading with the judge to allow him to give Amber a hug. It was a kind of a long pause because, for security and safety reasons. Hey, Munchgar, how you doing, Munchgar? For security and safety reasons, they was first like, he wants to hug the lady who murdered his brother, because the first thing the judge said when she allowed him to take the stand and speak to Amber, she said, I'm asking you, Amber, you don't have to respond. You don't have to say anything, but just please listen respectfully. And then she said to Botham's brother, she said, and I'm asking you to please not curse, don't use any derogatory language or any threats. So that's what she said first of all. But then when he asked, can he hug her? They have to think about the safety, not just for him, but for Amber. Like, okay, is this man going to hug her, or is he going to run up there and clock her upside her head or try to choke her out? Or, you never know, y'all. You never know. You never know. Some of these people go crazy and, fix my light right here. Some of these people go crazy when their family members is killed, and then they think that the time or the punishment does not fit the crime. But the judge was like, yes, I will allow you to go hug her. And when they were hugging everybody in the courtroom, whew, that was, boy, that was a sight to see. That was a sight to see. But what hit me was when you could hear his mother. I think that was his mother. I'm not 100% sure because they didn't turn the camera. They kept the camera focused on him and focused on Amber. And they was hugging for dear life. When he came off that stand to hug her, she took off. She ran, practically leaped in his arms, and they were hugging and crying, and I don't know what she was saying, but she was whispering stuff in his ear. I'm sure it has something to do with, I'm sorry, please forgive me, stuff like that. I'm sure it had to do with stuff like that. And then in the background, you could hear somebody on his side, probably his mother or aunt or, and they were just wailing. It was like this cry, like, the cry when a mother loses their child, that cry. And so then, after that, they released each other and they talked for a second. Then they hugged again. Then they released each other and they were talking. Then they hugged again. This is just something you just don't see in court in these kind of situations. This is something you just don't see. And the difference with this type of case is, right, Munchbar. This reminds me, okay, Munchbar, let me highlight your comment. You said, Munchbar said, this reminds me of an example where our people forgive the enemy who has killed their loved one. Yes. And we don't know if all of his friends and family have found forgiveness in their heart already, because sometimes it takes time and sometimes people just, it's not like they don't forgive. It's like they just don't want to think about it. It's like, I don't even want to, it's hard enough to go day by day without thinking about this person. You know what I mean? But, yeah, it was really, really touching. It was really touching. I was like, it was really touching. This whole case, this whole trial, it's a lot. It was a lot. And to hear his brother, it wasn't a speech, per se. He just basically, said what he had to say to her, told her he don't hate her. I love you, just like my brother would love you. And my brother would just want you to, get your life right with Christ. That's basically it. Get your life right with Christ. And then when the judge gave her a Bible, and told her, this is all you need. This is all you need. I think she turned to John 3:16. For all have sinned. Y'all know that Bible verse. Gave her that. She told her to keep that close to her in jail and use that Bible. Read that Bible. This will get you through your sentence. And that's what the judge did. This is not what you normally see in a courtroom for these kind of cases. This probably the most emotional trial I have watched live on TV. It was really touching. As far as his mother, he has a beautiful, beautiful mother. His father, I think the most touching witnesses or character witnesses for me was Boston's best friend, his father, and because his best friend, the lady who's married, and they met when they were in college, and when she got with her boyfriend, the state had, when they was like questioning her and stuff, they said, now how do you explain your relationship to your husband? And she was like, I told my husband straight up, this is my best friend. This is my person. On Grey's Anatomy, everybody got that phrase from Grey's Anatomy. This is my person. This is next to my husband, next to God. This is my person. This is somebody so close to me. I can depend on him. I can rely on him. I can talk to him about anything. We pray together. We go to church together. It's like, besides her husband, That was her person. That was her best friend. So her whole testimony, I mean, she said a lot, but that was her and his father was very emotional to me, like the most emotional ones. And I mean, his father. Did I say his father? Yeah, his father. And his father, really handsome man. I just have to say that. Really handsome man. His mother, beautiful, beautiful mother. His whole entire family, a beautiful family. When his mother at the end, the message that she said when she took to the mic at the end, you know, to the press, the message that she said was really profound. Really profound. They're not from Texas, but she gave a message to Texas. She gave a message to the Texas community and to the community of the United States as well. This is what his mother had to say. She said that the 10 years that Amber has been sentenced is for her to reflect on and change her life. But more is to be done by the city of Dallas. The corruption they saw during this process must stop. She said, after today, I leave Dallas, but you have to live here. And she's talking to the people in Dallas. Y'all have to live here. Y'all have to stay here. And it must stop for everyone. The contamination that was done on this case, on this crime, must never happen again. The poor use of what should have been training, that should never happen again. If this was applied the way, and she's referring to the training, if this was applied the way that it should have been taught, then her son would still be alive. If Amber was taught not to shoot in the heart, her son would still be alive today. He was no threat to her. He had no reason to cause a threat to her because he was in his own apartment, in his own sanctuary, in a place where he pays a lot of money to be in. He paid rent to be there. He paid rent to sit on that couch and eat that ice cream that night that he was murdered. He had every right to be there, yet his privacy was violated. Amber intruded on his privacy, and that was not enough. She killed him. His mother went on to say, our life must move on, but our life must move on with change. It has got to be a better day, and that better day starts with each and every one of us. The Dallas Police Department needs to clean up inside. They have a lot of laundry to do. The Texas Rangers need to know who's on board. And every single one of you citizens of Dallas and the residents of Dallas needs to know what to do to make your city right. That is the last things that we heard from his mother. What's up, the underrated darkness? Good evening. Good evening. So that's my little take on the trial, the verdict, the sentence, the jurors, the judge, the victim, this trial will go down in history, not because of the sentence, because she only got 10 years. Not nearly enough. She only got 10 years. This trial will go down in history because of the people involved, mainly his family. Like, again, Amber, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to be done with it. But Amber, she did not show no remorse. She did not show no compassion. She did not show any sympathy. She did not show any feelings. She did not connect with anybody. But his family, from his father to his son, to his brother, to his mother, they showed more compassion to her than her family, or any of the character witnesses on her behalf. That's a huge statement right there. Not one of her family members, not one of her friends or co-workers ever look at Blossom's family. They never turned their head and looked over there and said, I apologize. I am truly sorry for the loss of your loved ones. I am sincerely sorry. And I apologize for what happened. Nobody, none of them. And that was like, wow, that's what a lot of people is talking about today. Like, nobody. That was really weird. Like, y'all making us try to believe that this lady is a perfect person, a saint. And I mean, Mary, the mother of Jesus. I mean, they made her seem perfect, but no, none of them sat up there on that stand and said, we're sorry. I mean, they never said it. Never. Not on the stand. Not before the trial. Not during the trial. Maybe they'll say it after the trial. I don't know. Hey, Amber finally showed emotions after the trial. So maybe they'll find out, some emotions from the trial. Hey, Sunshine. How you doing? You said checking in from the Dirty Dallas. Hey, how you doing down there? There was a lot going down there in your city lately with this trial. A lot. But yeah, I done gave my 2 cents and a little bit more change on how I felt about everything that went down, the trial, the sentence, the verdict, the outcome. And, that's just my little take on my little, 2 cents, my little review on, what I thought, went wrong and, just my little feedback on the, yeah, you said it's not good. It's not good. It'll get better. One day it'll get better and we'll have less and less and less of these trials and court cases that people have to deal with. It has to get better. It has to get better. But anyway, you guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in, especially the people in the chat who came out of the bushes and, chopped it up with me in the chat. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys, if you have not already liked the video, make sure you like it. Thumbs up. Make sure you share it. Share it out. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you can receive all my live notifications and my uploads in the future. I thank you very much. Thank you so kindly. And in the meantime and in between time, Prime Time Squad, as usual, stay safe, be blessed, treat each other as you would like to be treated. And I'm out. Deuces. Good night, everybody.